I cannot stand myself. And stop being your biggest bully. Stop making weight loss more difficult than it has to be. I'm loving it. I wanted this so bad. People are talking about it for a reason. Don't you dare give up on yourself. No one is coming to save you. Hey guys, it's Jill. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you are new. Today's video is going to be all about beginners tips to starting your weight loss journey. If you guys don't know, I just lost 56 pounds overall, and I have lost 45 pounds just this year alone. So I'm very close to that 50-pound weight loss mark just this year alone. So I'm gonna give you guys some tips and some tricks of some of the things that I personally did the beginning of this year, which was the beginning of my weight loss journey, to kind of share with you what it was that I was doing. Some of these I still do, some of them I don't, and I will share with you. If you wanna know the full story on how I lost 56 pounds and how I did that without dieting, I will link that video down below in the description box. But for this video, we are just talking beginner tips on starting your weight loss journey and how you can start today. So if you guys don't know, I do have a channel membership. So if you guys are interested, all of the things are listed on the screen that you will get. And I hope to see you guys over there. More information is going to be listed down below in the description box. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get right on into this video. I have close to 20 tips here, so let's go ahead and just get right into it. And the first thing that you need to start doing right freaking now, before you make any plans, before you do any meal planning, before you do any grocery shopping, you need to immediately start incorporating self-care into your daily routine. You can take 5 minutes a day to do something for yourself. I don't care where you are in life. I don't care how busy your day is. This weight loss journey, in my opinion, will not be successful if you don't learn to do things for you and put yourself first. What do you enjoy? Get to know yourself again. You can start this today, right now. Washing your face at night, putting on a nice face mask, calling a friend, texting a friend, checking in with a friend. That literally takes minutes. Just text a friend real quick. Hey, how you doing? Thinking about you, love you. Take yourself out on dates if you can. Spend a little bit of extra time putting your outfit together for tomorrow. Do something that makes you happy starting today. Make it real fun and get you a cutesy little template or something and come up with the things that you're gonna do for yourself for the next 7 days. I want you guys to list down below in the description box what you're gonna do for yourself the next 7 days, because I promise you, if you don't start loving yourself, you are going to get a case of the F-its and you are going to give up because you're not gonna care. You are not gonna care. When you start pouring into yourself and you start loving yourself, that's when you're gonna start making the commitments and keeping the promises that you've made to yourself. So I'm telling you, if I were going back, I already told myself, the very beginning of this journey, I told myself, you have to keep the promises you're making to yourself, you have to keep the commitments, and you have to do something for yourself daily. You have to start doing it. You have to start practicing self-care and self-love. Because if you don't, you might lose the weight and get down to the weight. I'm gonna show you what I used to look like. This girl right here hated herself. This girl right here every single day looked in the mirror and said, you are so fat. You are so ugly. This girl, yeah. I'm not doing that again. I'm not doing that again. So it's very crucial that you start your weight loss journey loving yourself, starting to love yourself and doing daily self-care stuff. It doesn't have to be something new every single day. It could be as simple as buying yourself a new moisturizer and making sure you put this baby on every single morning and every single night. It can be as simple as that. Trust me when I say, when you start taking care of yourself, you're gonna wanna keep doing more and more and more for yourself, and you're gonna wanna stay on this weight loss journey and keep it forever. Going along with that, start right now, today. I do not wanna hear any unkindness going on in this brain of yours. And if it is, fix it. Start working on how you are talking to yourself, talking about yourself, and what you are thinking about yourself. Stop saying, I can't lose weight. It's just how I am. It's just how it's in my genes. Okay, if that's the case, guess what? Then that's the way it's gonna be. But you know what? If you start empowering yourself and saying empowering, uplifting words to yourself, I've got this. I can do this. I can reach my goal. I believe in myself. Do me a favor. Say right now, I cannot stand myself. I am so fat. I am so ugly. I'm so disgusting. How does that make you feel? That's not very encouraging and uplifting, is it? Does it really make you want to go and achieve the goals that you have in your dream? No. So stop. Stop talking to yourself that way and start saying, look yourself in the mirror and say, you are beautiful. You are going to do this. You are amazing. You are awesome. You are kind. You are incredible. You are badass. You are going to do it. You can do this. Believe in yourself. Write down the affirmations. Write them on your mirror. Say them to yourself throughout the day. Really start to become self-aware of how you are speaking to yourself and stop being your biggest bully, okay? Number 2 thing that I did when I first started this weight loss journey was, y'all, I planned every single meal. I was personally seeing a nutritionist at the time, and she gave me a meal plan. And what I would do every Friday or Saturday was take the meal plan and I would plan for the entire week. And what that helped with was I was never, in the first 3 months, I was not presented with the, oh crap, I'm really hungry, what am I gonna eat? Because I already knew what I was gonna eat. There was no question. So a lot of times I meal prepped as much as I possibly could, but the meal planning is what really helped. I knew exactly what I was having every single day for an entire week for breakfast, lunch, dinner, snack, and dessert. I can't really remember if I was having much dessert because we're gonna get into that in a minute, but plan as much as you can. I personally don't do this anymore, but for the first 3 months, I did this religiously because I needed it, and I had that mentality, fail to plan, plan to fail. Because I knew myself well enough that if I didn't do it, I was going to fail. Now that I've gotten really in the groove and it's become a habit and I'm not faced with, oh crap, when I get hungry, I'm not faced with, oh crap, what am I gonna eat? I'm so hungry, I'm gonna eat a horse, or I'm gonna eat a cow, whatever the expression is. I don't, like, if I get that hungry, I'm like, okay, like, let's pull this. I've also gotten a lot more creative with, okay, this is in here, this is in here, this is in here, what are we gonna make? Okay, we'll make it real quick, we eat, we're good. I'm not faced with that as much anymore, but in the beginning, oh girl, I was planning everything. And yes, it was very time consuming. It's a chunk of time that I had to invest on a Friday or a Saturday. But it saved me so much time and energy and effort throughout the week. And I just loved just knowing exactly what I was gonna have because I didn't have to make that decision. I made it once a week and that was that. This isn't on here, but don't ever go to the grocery store hungry. I mean, I think that that's just a given for anyone and everyone because you're gonna spend more money and you're gonna buy stuff that you normally wouldn't buy. I'm gonna tell you, I was also faced with the possibility of having to go travel in the month of February, which was the 2nd month into my weight loss journey. And I said, if I have to go and I'm gonna go travel, I am already dead set that I am planning and meal prepping every single meal from my breakfast, lunch, dinner, snack. I am not going unprepared. I'm not going unpacked. So some of y'all may be like, whoa, that's excessive. But let me tell you, at that point in my journey, when I started my journey this year, I was tired of my excuses and I was tired of my BS. So I was willing to do any and everything to make sure that I set myself up for success. Because girl, when I tell you I was tired tired of living the life that I was living. Going along with meal planning, meal prep as much as you possibly can as well. So meal prep your breakfast. This was something I did, again, religiously every single week. I feel like I had breakfast prepped, ready to go. That way, again, you don't have to think, it's already planned, but when you plan it and then also prep it, it's just as simple as grabbing it, putting it in the microwave or the air fryer, and then waiting for it to heat up. Also, when you get home from the grocery store, cut up and clean as much of your produce as you can. I personally love to keep them in mason jars, and not only is it pretty, I feel like it also saves space in my fridge, but it's also grab and go. You have your fruits, you have your veggies, there's no thinking, there's no excuses like, oh, I don't want to cut that up. You can even make salads in mason jars. You can go ahead, if you know you're going to have a salad every day for the week, you can totally have everything prepared, everything cut up, and just pull those ingredients out of the refrigerator and just plop it into a bowl, and there's your salad. So just set yourself up, especially in the beginning, because for me in the beginning, there was a lot of stuff up here going on. There was a lot of self-doubt that I was having to deal with. There was a lot of bad ways I was still thinking about myself that I had to change. So there's a lot of stuff that you're trying to do. I just wanted that food stuff. As easy as I can get that food, I'm gonna get it. So keeping with the food, I personally had to get every single temptation out of my house. The chips had to go. Any desserts had to go. If I bought something for the kids, I put it in their room and told them, put this up. I don't want to see it. Out of sight, out of mind. I could not have any of that stuff. And again, some people might be like, girl, that's so excessive. That might not work for you. I'm just saying, for me, this is what I had to do. It does not mean you have to do it forever. Eventually, you'll get to a point where it's not gonna bother you as much, and you can start slowly bringing those things in. But for the time being, if food is a problem for you, I would recommend you just not, because listen to this. If you see, say, a box of cookies, okay, and you're like, oh, like those really look good, and you're at the grocery store, those really look good, and you pick them up and you're like, oh, I could have one a day or whatever. You see them, you're tempted by them all day, every day, okay? Every single time you open up your pantry, you're tempted by these damn cookies because you want them. I've been there, know exactly what it's like. So would you rather say no to the temptation once while you're at the store, or would you rather say no to the temptation every single time you open up your pantry? Now, let me tell you, some of this stuff may sound toxic, okay? This is not a forever, these are not forever tips, okay? These are beginner tips, because some of y'all, myself included, obviously, have to go super drastic with this stuff. And I was personally seeing a nutritionist in which I asked her, is this toxic for me to get all the food out of the house? She said, absolutely not. As long as eventually you get to the point where you start bringing the food back in, which I'm there now, get it out of your house. Just get it out of your house if you are dead set, ready to change your life. So I'm also a huge proponent about not cutting anything out of your diet unless you absolutely have to for medical reasons. I was still eating, okay, things that I wanted. But here's how I handled that. I didn't have chips in my house. So if I wanted chips, I had to go in my car and get them. But I also would tell myself, if I was like, man, I really want some chips, I would wait. Sometimes an hour, sometimes a day or two. And if I was still craving those chips, after I told myself to wait, like, you can have them, just not right now. 9 times out of 10, honestly, I wouldn't want them anymore, okay? Sometimes I would, and in that case, if I still wanted it, I would have to go in my car and go to the store. If you are within walking distance of a store, go walk to that store. Like, seriously, make it as hard as you possibly can to get these things. Because here's the thing, here's my psychology behind this. I found myself not wanting to go do these things, not wanting to actually get in the car and go get it. So 9 times out of 10, I either forgot the fact that I wanted it because I told myself to wait, Or if I was like, do I want it? Do I really want to go down the stairs, get in the car, drive there, park in the back of the parking lot because that's coming, walk in the store, get it, pay for it, and then, oh no, I don't want to do that. Sometimes I would, but most times I'd be like, no, it's not worth it. So here's the thing. You can tell yourself you can have anything you want. But if it's something that you have a little bit, if you have problems with stopping and it's a little more tempting for you to stop or come to a stopping point, then make it hard to get to. Make it hard to get to and keep that commitment and that promise you've made to yourself, okay? And I'm gonna say this too. I would only do single serving. So whatever it was a single serving. Mostly it was chips. For the first month of my journey, I started doing something small that sucked. I personally did it every single day, but I recommend doing something like that a couple of times a week. That's just gonna get you in the mind frame of doing things that you don't want to do. Because let me tell you something, especially if you have a lot of weight to lose, there's a lot of times you're gonna have to say no. There's a lot of times you're gonna have to work out when you don't want to. There's a lot of times you're gonna have to do things that you don't want to do. And this right here is going to build up that determination. It's gonna build up that keeping the promise to yourself. And when you keep that promise to yourself, you're gonna build self-confidence. So do something that sucks. It doesn't have to be anything big, but do something that sucks a couple of times a week. I still do this today. I consume inspiring weight loss content on the daily. But the beginning of my journey, I was consuming multiple times a day. If I felt like eating, I was listening to a podcast. Specifically for me, I love Chris Terrell. He's got a no BS, no excuses type of approach that I just think I love it. I love him. He's amazing. He's lost 125 pounds, has kept it off for years. He knows what he's doing. He knows what he's talking about. I just love him, adore him. He's chef's kiss. And he has so much content out there. You can follow him here on YouTube. He's on TikTok. He has a free podcast. So I would just go through those podcasts. I would save some. So I would prepare myself if my parents were coming in and I knew it was gonna, we were gonna be going out to eat and I wasn't like really used to going out to eat. So it's like, okay, I'm saving these podcasts just in case, if I need to get myself up from the table. Like I was prepared. I was ready I was really preparing myself for any kind of scenario in which I felt like I was going to need to get up and just get away from the food and really talk to myself and remind myself of why I'm doing this. So I have episodes saved. If I need inspiration at any time, at the drop of a hat, I have inspiration ready to go. Put in some earbuds and listen to them. I love listening to someone that's had success with weight loss and he does not have this approach that's, oh, I couldn't do it, or oh, the odds are stacked against me, or oh this or oh that, or all these excuses. He was like, no, I was tired of living the way I lived. This is what I did. If you want my success, this is what I recommend you do. I love him. He answers viewers' questions all the time. He's just freaking amazing. So I personally would start there. This is something huge and I feel that people don't talk about enough in a weight loss journey, but get your sleeping under control if you're not sleeping consistently 7 to 9 hours a night. And a big way for me to do that is plugging it up on the other side of the room, putting the phone down, not touching it, putting it on do not disturb. I got myself a Kindle. I've actually had a Kindle, but I read every single day. And at night, I started reading. It helps me go to sleep. This is my melatonin. I freaking love my Kindle. And the reason why I love my Kindle too is if you like reading outside, you can see 100% outside. Not like with your phone, you can't see it. You can see this, you can see it. But two, girl, turn them lights off. Don't have the lamp on, because for me, if I'm reading a book and I have a lamp on, it's gonna be a little harder for me. I'm gonna stay up a little longer than this. This has warm backlight, so that's amazing. And I don't have to have a lamp on. And if I'm like really into a book and I've got to go to the bathroom, girl, I'm bringing this with me and I'm like Don't need to turn a light on or nothing. Like, I'm in it. I freaking love my Kindle. You can stuff it with so many different books. So you can go from your self-help book to your other book that you're reading, your devotional. Like, I freaking love this thing. This is the best freaking purchase. The best thing I've ever purchased from Amazon is this. Highly recommend it. Will always recommend it. I have it linked down below, but seriously, start reading. I tell my kids this all the time. I have a problem with sleep. Put your phone down. Put your freaking phone down. Because I know you get caught up scrolling, and before you know it, it's 3 o'clock in the morning and you have to get up at 8, 9 o'clock. Some of y'all have to get up at 5. How are you going to function and try to make good decisions on your weight loss and try to get your workouts in with 4 hours of sleep, 3 hours of sleep? It's going to be that much harder. Stop making weight loss more difficult than it has to be. If you get the proper amount of sleep, you're going to feel better. And when you feel better, you're going to want to do your workouts. You're going to want to get your water in. You're going to want to do all of the things that you're supposed to do to get you closer to your goals. So put your dang phone down, get you a book or a Kindle and start reading, and let me know if it works, because girl, this is my melatonin right here. Another thing that I did at the very beginning of my journey was I said no to every single person that offered me food. So if my kids were like, hey, do you want this? No. Like, didn't even think about it. Because let me tell you something. In the very beginning of my journey, it was so much easier for me to say no than for me to say yes to the food and then struggle with the possibility of not being able to stop. Or if you are like, oh my gosh, this is so good, I want this, I want more of it. I just said no. And it was just easier for me. And again, this was something I talked over with my nutritionist. And because I was always making sure, like, am I doing something that's toxic? Like, I want to make sure that I'm not being, because I'm moving away from toxic diet culture. I'm moving away from having a bad relationship with food to having a good relationship with food. But again, remember, these tips I'm giving you are tips for when I first started. They're not what I do now. As a matter of fact, my daughter just came in with a crumble cookie and asked me if I wanted to bite. I looked down at it. It was like, oh, and this is what made me think to go ahead and record this too. I was sitting there, I was like, oh yeah, I want a bite. I took a bite. It was so good. I had one bite. I gave it back to her. I was done. And I was like, it would have been a lot more difficult if I was in the beginning of my weight loss journey to have taken that bite and to have actually stopped. I said no to literally everything that anyone offered me. If my parents were here visiting and we were out to eat and my mom was like, do you want a bite of this? No. Just one bite? No, I don't want anything. I don't want anything. I didn't take anything from anyone that wasn't in my plan. And it was because I was dead set on it was easier for me to just say no than it was for me to have a little bit of something and then to stop because of the temptation and it being harder. Now that I'm 7-8 months in, it's a lot easier for me to take a bite of something and say yes and be like, okay. But I'm still very choosy about what it is that I choose. If Contral's like, here, do you want a Swedish fish? I'm like, not really, but do you want a bite of this crumble cookie? I never get crumble cookies, so heck yeah. Something I actually don't even have in my notes is water. The importance of water. You can still have your sodas. You can still have your Diet Cokes. You can still have your coffee, your tea, all the things. But try to get in. If you're starting, I would say at least 60 ounces, but make sure you are hydrating. And I also don't talk much about this either because I personally don't drink, but if you are a drinker, try to cut back on your drinking. If not, I see a lot of people going sober and I'm loving it because I don't even want to get into alcohol. Check the alcohol consumption and make sure you're staying hydrated. That is very important. I personally find, girl, if I'm drinking like 3 of these, which is 120 ounces of water, it's helping me with my appetite. My skin looks better. I have more energy. Look up the benefits of drinking water. Water is so good for you. Staying hydrated, it's so good for you. And then on top of that, just going based on weight loss, I'm not eating as much. If I'm drinking 120 ounces of these, do you think I can really fill my stomach with a whole ton of food? No. Do you think when I was binging, I was drinking 3 things of these? No, because I couldn't fit that much food and water into my body. So hydration, very important. I will never go back to grocery delivery. Well, let me never say never. The beginning of your weight loss journey, stop all deliveries if you can. Stop your grocery delivery, stop your pickups, stop your grocery, stop your Grubhub and you're getting your food delivered. If you want food, go get it. If you want, when you go get groceries, get extra steps in, go into the grocery store. Obviously go in with a plan, go in when you're not hungry. Girl, those days I go to the grocery store, you want to talk about a breeze getting my steps in? It is a breeze because you're walking around so much. So that's what I would personally do. Stop all food deliveries, stop all pickups, which goes into walk as much as you can. Walk as much as you can. Get as many steps in as you can. And let me tell you something. I started this year out at 320 pounds. I at one point was 331 pounds. If you are that heavy, your feet are gonna be killing you. Let me tell you, the arches of my feet hurt so bad for the first like 5 months of this year. But guess what? I wanted this so bad that I walked as much as I possibly could, which leads me into parking in the back of the parking lot to get in more steps. Obviously, some women don't feel safe doing this. Obviously, if you're in an area where you don't feel safe, don't do this. Most times, I am all the way in the back of the parking lot, girl, all the way in the back. And this is another thing too, where I've done, where if you're in a shopping center and you're gonna be going from here to here, maybe even over here, park your car in one place, go walk to that place, walk to the next place, walk to the next place, and then walk to your car. I mean, obviously, unless you like have a ton of groceries or a ton of shopping, you're gonna be carrying a bunch of bags. But if you're just going into the Dollar Tree for like 2 items, you're going into Walmart for an item, and then you got to go to, I don't know, Ross for a shirt, just walk. Park your car and walk. Because if you think about it, you got to park, go to the store, come back, get back in your car, start it up to go drive. Why do all that? Just get in your car once and do the extra bit of walking. Now with exercise, I personally started this year, I was like, girl, I'm exercising every single day for at least 20 minutes a day. And that's what I did. But that can be really overwhelming for a lot of people. So if that is too overwhelming for you and you don't have that much time, start with 3 times a week for at least 15 minutes. Everyone can find 15 minutes 3 times a week. Remember, no excuses, okay? If you want this, you will find the time, whether it's waking up early, doing it on your lunch break, doing it at the end of the night when you come home, you will find the time. Get outside more. Just be out as much as you possibly can. Get as much vitamin D, especially in the summertime, especially in the wintertime, girl. Bundle up and get out in the sun, because you're just being out in nature, especially if you deal with depression, get out as much as you possibly can. Because remember what I said earlier, stop making weight loss harder than it has to be. When you feel good, when you're rested, when you're feeling good, when you're exercising, you're getting those endorphins in, when you're getting your steps in, you're feeling good about yourself, you're gonna be more prone to want to stick to this, okay? Trust me when I say, it's so hard to stick to this when you're not feeling good. Oh my gosh, like when I'm saying up here, mentally, emotionally drained, it's so much harder. So stop making it harder than it has to be. If you can get outside for a couple of minutes, at least 15 minutes a day, a couple of days a week, do it. You're gonna feel better because the vitamin D, we all need it, and we probably, most of us are probably lacking it, honestly. Do a journal and a gratitude entry. And stop, this is something I'm still working on. Stop focusing on what you don't have and focus on what you do have. Do this a couple of times a week and work to doing this daily. It's gonna change your life. Journaling changed my life. I go to it now. If I'm sad, I will journal. Or either that, or it's one of my coping tools for sure. Exercise, coping tool. Journaling, coping tool. Gratitude, entries, coping tool. By the way, coping tools, I have a whole video. I had this toolbox that I created. I will link it down below if you guys want more information on that. But that journaling, really, you can do journal prompts to like really get to know yourself a little bit more. Love, love, love journaling. And I was one of those people that's like, journaling ain't gonna do anything. Like it's, everyone talks about it, but it's like, whatever. No, it's, people are talking about it for a reason. Do daily affirmations every single day. Take a minute out of your day. Google, get an app. I will link a video down below where I list out all of the weight loss apps that I have on my phone that I use daily that have helped me within my weight loss journey. But I do have a couple of affirmation apps that I use I personally love. This was something too, girl, I had this weight loss app. I had this weight loss affirmation app that I was saving. I was writing them down because if I was in a situation where I felt like I was going to be too tempted and I was scared that I was going to give in to temptation, I had those affirmations at the ready. I had them at the ready. So look up weight loss affirmations. Remind yourself of why you want this so bad. Write yourself a good enough why. I know some of us might not be in that mindset to be able to, especially when we first start. So at some point though, I do recommend that you do come up with a good enough why. But daily positive affirmations, reframing your mindset. We talked about the very first thing was self-love, how you're talking to yourself, how you're thinking about yourself. It's so important. And I'm telling you, the repetition of the daily affirmations and how you're talking to yourself is going to change your life. Because honestly, if you think about it, you lose the weight, right? Are you going to be happy if you just lose the weight? Or if you really do the work and change who you are as a person, change your habits, change your life, change who you hang out with, change all of these things about yourself that you don't like, or most of the things you don't like about your life. Maybe you want to get more active. Maybe you want to travel more. Maybe you want to go for your dream job. Maybe you want to go back to school. All of these things is getting you closer to the life of your dreams, not just the body of your dreams. And that's what my channel and my journey is all about. It is not about eat less, move more. All of these things are the reason why I am so successful and why I'm going to lose all of my weight and why I'm going to keep it off for good. Because these habits I have been incorporating and I do pretty much on the daily because I just want this so bad and I got so tired of living a life where I was so freaking miserable with myself and my life, and not just the way I looked, not just the fact that I was so freaking immobile, that I was so big that I couldn't move hardly. Everything was a freaking chore. I was tired of living that life, but I was also tired of just existing. I wanted to go live life and experience life. And that's what I'm doing now. And I can't imagine what it's going to keep getting to, what it's going to keep looking like as I keep working on myself. It's going to keep getting better and better and better and better. Those of you that have been watching me for years, you know, you've literally seen from on a camera how much I have changed from my attitude. Just so much about me has changed in just a short 7 months. I'm telling you, you want to change your life, only you can do it, but you got to put in the freaking work. It is so much more than just what are you eating and what are you doing for exercise. No. I don't even know what number we're on, but go ahead. Get yourself a calendar, okay? If you deal with emotional eating, binge eating, ED, whatever, get you a calendar. This thing was like less than $2 from Walmart, okay? Get you some cute little stickers, anything that's gonna bring a smile to your face, okay? And what I want you to do is every single day you go without whatever your vice is. So since we're talking about weight loss, let's just stick with that. Every single day that you go and you don't emotionally eat or binge, I want you to put a sticker. Whatever sticker you have, if you want to get stars, put a star, reward yourself. What this did for me, okay, was it was a constant daily reminder of what I was doing, why I was doing it, and it just put a smile on my face. I have this in my pantry. I still have this to this day. And I will say, again, I am almost 8 months into this, so I still put stickers on it. But when I tell you the first 4 months of this, I would just stand there in the pantry just looking. And especially when it got down to the end of the month and you can see all of the stars and you can visually see all that you have accomplished, that feeling is incredible. And it's something that I think is just one of these small little things that costs next to nothing, that takes hardly any time at all, but it's a great visual reminder of your accomplishments every single day. So I also was like, okay, I'm gonna put a little heart on days where I'm like, whew, today was a hard day. So that way, when I go back through this calendar, I can look and see, okay, January, I had one day that was really difficult and I made it through. And that's the thing. I could look at these hearts and be like, dang girl, you had 3 days in February where it was really tough for you, but you freaking made it through. You made it through. And it just makes me so happy to see this. Hold on, I gotta clear out my memory card. So here is February. Here is March. I had 3, what is this? That's gross. I had 3 days in March that was really difficult for me and I fought a lot of urges. As a matter of fact, I don't remember what month it was, but I will never forget. I mean, it was the hardest day this year so far and I just had so many urges and I was so close to giving in and I didn't. And I remember that feeling the next freaking day to know that I did it. It was incredible. I don't remember what day that was, but here's April. Now May, I'm not perfect, girl. So in May, I had 1, 2, 3, 4. I had 4 days where I did emotionally eat. And on those days, I just leave it blank. I just don't put, or I'll put a heart and be like, that was hard. That was a hard day. And I had a lot of urges. As a matter of fact, this day I went ahead, I was confident. I put my star on. I was like, yeah. And then I started emotional eating. And I was like, nope. And I'm gonna be honest, I had to be honest with myself on this because I was trying to lie to myself and I didn't allow myself. That was another thing. I'm building self-confidence in myself. I won't let myself do that. This was June. And then here's July so far. So I love this idea. Again, I still obviously am still putting on the stickers, but girl, for the first 3 months, I would just stand there in the pantry because I'd be wanting to eat and I would just stand there and I would just look at this and be like, yeah. Because look, isn't that amazing? That just, I mean, even now, it makes me feel so freaking good. So it's something that's super inexpensive that I feel is just so powerful. So why not give it a try? Last but not least, on beginner tips for weight loss and how to start losing weight. Believe in yourself and never stop believing in yourself. And girl, don't you dare, and guys, because I know not just girls watch this, but girls and guys, don't you dare give up on yourself. Do not give up on yourself this time. Keep the promises you made to yourself. Keep those commitments. I promise you, the more you do it, the more you keep commitments to yourself and other people, the more you do it, the more you're gonna build self-confidence in you, build self-love in you, and you're gonna not want to let yourself down, let other people down, and it just goes like all of these things you might think, oh, like, why does it matter if I keep my commitments to myself? Because it does. This all ties into each other. Building self-confidence in yourself, telling yourself that you are so freaking important, that you are not gonna not work out today because it is on the calendar and you made the commitment to work out. You are not gonna give up on yourself. The more you keep doing that, the harder it's going to be to give up on yourself. That's why it's so important. That's why in my videos I say this is not just a weight loss journey. I am not just losing weight. I am changing my life because I was tired of living the life that I was living. Okay, I'm still not living the life that I want to live, but I will be damned if I get down to my goal weight and I'm still living the miserable mindset. I'm still miserable up here. Oh no. I'm still talking to myself and being like, you're so fat. No wonder no one wants you. No wonder why everyone abandons you. Really? No. I did not do all of this work to treat myself the same way, to allow other people to continue to treat me the same way that I've allowed them to treat me in the past. And also to not love myself and not love the body that I've worked so hard to get. Why do we so often overlook the hard? Because it's hard. It's hard. This is not a quick fix. Changing your beliefs, changing who you are as a person, changing your thought processes, changing the way you talk to yourself, about yourself. Stop saying, I'm so ugly, I'm so fat, no one's gonna want me. No, stop it. Stop it. Stop. If you find yourself, I've gotten real good to the point where if I catch myself like starting to say something, I'll be like, oh, especially in front of my kids. Oh, I was notorious for being like, oh no, not anymore. No, stop it. All of these things are so incredibly important in a weight loss journey because you are pouring into yourself and you're loving yourself and you are showing yourself why you are so important. You are showing yourself that you are worth it. And I never want you to forget that you are worth it. Don't you dare ever let anyone make you feel less than. Don't you ever make anyone make you feel like you are not worth this. Don't let yourself make you feel. Don't you be feeling, oh, I'm not worth it. I'm too old. No, you're not. I'm too fat. No, you're not. I don't care if you are 600 pounds. Yes, this is going to take a really long freaking time. Stop looking for shortcuts and do the damn work. Because if you don't, you're gonna keep doing it over and over and over again. And why am I so positive knowing that I have 100+ pounds to lose and I'm sitting here telling y'all what to do? If you're starting this weight loss journey, like who the hell does she think she is? I'm never gonna give up on myself. I'm not doing it. And it's because all of these things, all of the daily habits that I've started incorporating in my life, the way that I speak to myself, even on my days where I am so down. This morning, I was so unmotivated. I was so down. I was so depressed. I didn't want to do anything. And I feel so much better. You wanna know why? Because I kept the commitments I made to myself. I went on my walk this morning. I came back and I did my toning workout and then I still felt like crap. So I sat there and I cried during my toning workout. I prayed, I listened to worship music. I cried on my knees praying. And then I got up still feeling like crap saying, you're gonna get in the shower and you're gonna keep the commitments that you made to yourselves and to other people today. You're doing it. I don't care how you feel. And now I feel so much better. I have written down here, keep the commitments you've made to yourself, write it down, create bingo cards, come join my membership, but don't you ever give up on you. If you want to know more about the bingo cards, I have a whole playlist that I will link down below. I've been doing them. I've been filming them. This is the only month that I haven't filmed them. But I have filmed them every other month. So I have 6 months worth of bingo cards. If you guys want ideas of things that I personally like, I create these myself. I put in the little things myself. Most of the months I've gotten, some of them I haven't. So I'm not like super perfect, but it's just a way to like write down your goals and to follow through with them. And so, yeah, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. I know it was really long, but I hope it was very helpful. Good luck to you on your self-transformation / weight loss journey. You guys are amazing. Don't you ever freaking forget that, okay? And don't you ever forget that you are 100% worth everything, okay? Every single person watching this, even if you don't like me, I don't care. You still deserve to have the life that is going to make you happy. Everyone deserves to feel joy and feel happiness and be content and find peace within their life. Everyone deserves that. So I hope that you work towards a better you, and you work every single day to make that dream possible, because at the end of the day, you are the only one, sweetheart, that is going to do it. No one else is going to do it for you. No one is coming to save you, okay? I love you guys. If you want more information about my membership, it is linked down below in the description box. Have an amazing day, and I will see you in the next one. Bye, guys.